Condemned Criminal Origins is a very confusing game. When I was recommended this game, it was under the guise of it being a horror game, which is true, but it changes genre like 3 times. When the game opens, it's a psychological horror, and midway through, it slides to a paranormal thriller. And then in its final moments, it becomes an insane religious horror kind of experience with a cult and a possession and all kinds of other weird shit. And the last one is where I found where like all of the hard work that the game had been doing just kind of goes off the rails. And before we dive in, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We got plenty of horror game reviews in the pipeline, as well as some neat live streaming events. Like all July, I'll be running Dead Space 2 non-stop just because hell yeah. We also got merch. Check this out. This is my hat. You may have seen in the last video. I'm showing it to you again. This is my hat. We got merch. I got a shirt on the way for me. We're printing through this store called Printful, and my shop is set up through Squarespace. So when you purchase something on Squarespace, it sends it all to Printful. I just dropped something. Oh. And then it ships to you from Printful with like all kinds of like there's my logo is in the tags of the shirts. It's cool as hell. We got soap, we got shirts, we got this toddler shirt. If you got a toddler you want, I got a toddler that want to wear some stuff, so I got a toddler shirt. What else? We got a hat. This bandana is a notebook. You want a notebook? I got notebooks. I got all the merch. I got all it's cheap merch. You know, it's fairly priced merch. Anyway, let me grab this. When you start Condemned, you're sent to this abandoned apartment building to investigate a grisly murder. The victim is set up in an elaborate scene with mannequin setup, the typical MO of a serial killer known as the Matchmaker. And as they're investigating the scene, they realize that there is someone in the building still. Agent Thomas, the player character, sets out to find the perp, and he's intercepted and then disarmed by the perp. And he tells Ethan, "Hey man, we're on the same team, which is why I'm about to kill your partners." And then he kills his partners with your gun and flees the scene. And because of how nonsense his explanation is, the FBI now believes that Thomas killed his partners. His old friend Malcolm Van Horn is basically like, "Hey man, I'm gonna help you, but you gotta leave right now. Like, get out of your house. Go on, get." And he ends up in another apartment across the road and ends up fighting a bunch of messed up homeless folk who want to kill him. And after navigating the structure a bit, he ends up in an apartment that has pictures of him all over the wall and camera equipment pointed directly into his apartment. Spooky. And then it has intel that the Matchmaker is in an abandoned mall across town. So obviously we go there. Now keep in mind, the FBI only wanted Agent Thomas for questioning. At that point, he wasn't going to be arrested until he fled. Granted, it was under Malcolm's assistance, but he's now on the lam. So Thomas gets to the mall and he finds the Matchmaker's corpse, and him and Rosa, an FBI consultant who believes him for some reason, conclude that the guy they're chasing is actually a serial killer. He's actively hunting all of Thomas's cold case killers. And then they proceed to give him the dumbest name possible: Serial Killer X. To get more information on Serial Killer X, they head to a temporarily abandoned library where they learn that Thomas has confidential information in his medical records. He has an abnormally high bone density, an overactive serotonergic system, it's where serotonin's made, and his vocal cords have been... And this is where paranormal stuff starts to peak and the game starts to slide a little into chaos. Thomas starts having visions of this dude covered in metal. Most notably, it's on their mouths, and he's basically like, Well, I don't know what that's about. So, you know, moving on, they discover that one of the serial killer X's targets is at the abandoned St. Joseph Secondary School, and head there to find a serial killer called the Torturer, who is on X lists of targets. When they get there, they begin finding body parts of a PE coach that taught at the school when the Torturer went there as a child. And it is heavily implied that the teacher was sexually assaulting the young boys there, which heavily influenced the Torturer's motivations of becoming who he is now. We eventually find the coach in a locker, and he tells us the Torturer locked him in there, and as he was leaving, the Torturer was abducted by X. The teacher then dies on the scene, deservedly so, in my opinion. In this part of the game, it really starts to go off the rails. Up to this point, I've generally been having a really good time, and I've been very much enjoying the gameplay and the story. I was in it to win it. So they end up on this orchard hunting down X, where they find the corpse of the other serial killer called the Torturer, you know, the one that we've been looking for. Upon discovery, we're immediately jumped by X, who proceeds to beat the shit out of us. Only to stop when he hears Malcolm, you know, the guy who saved us earlier, say some shit like, "Nephew, please stop." And then he gets his shit kicked in by Nephew X. We then wake up in a barn and Nephew X is monologuing. Unc gets up and surprise attacks Nephew X and tells us, "Find the dude with the metal implants. You know, the one Thomas had the dreams about?" Yeah, so we navigate through the farm, chasing serial killer X, killing off wave after wave of crazy strong, messed up homeless guy. Only we are about to learn it's not meth, but supernatural cult power. We learn that this is all the doing of some crazy cult. All of it. All the violence back in the city, all the crazy homeless folk, all of it. All of it originates from the guy with the metal on his face. So in true pro-tag fashion, we kill him, ripping the metal from his flesh, one piece at a time, till he eventually dies and gives up. We leave, assuming the bullshit was over, and ride with Unc back to the city, only to discover Nephew X is in the trunk.
Stop the car.
We confront him, and we get Nephew X out of the trunk, only for Nephew X to assumedly kill himself. Later, after all this, Thomas is still on the run and basically refuses to help the FBI with the investigation at all. Rosa meets him at a diner and tries to get him to talk, but she informs him that he's wired. She's wired, my bad. She tells him this is all caused by a cult, and you know, what do you know? And he's like, I gotta go piss now, man.
Yeah.
So he goes to the bathroom and he looks in the mirror, and now he's the man with the metal on his face. Roll credits. What the actual hell is this game? It had some really strong moments, like when it was just a crime thriller, like really strong. And by the end, I'm just confused. I still had fun playing, but story-wise, it's like they should have teased the cult stuff at the end and stuffed all that in the sequel. But you know, it's fun regardless. Now the gameplay. Oh boy, this is where the game rocks. I love the combat. I love the way the weapons work mostly. The melee weapons were so visceral, like very up close and personal. It felt very consequential. The combat is a dance between you and your few opponents. If there are more than 2 or 3 on the field, it is very, very easy to get overwhelmed. So it is imperative to watch and follow them around so they don't get behind you or flank you. The melee combat is so chunky and brutal. I loved it. It's like an early prototype of the Callisto Protocol. Now the gunplay is fine. Guns are basically a get out of jail free card. It's easy to get one-shot kills with them, but they are rare, and they're the kind of toys you want to save for big threatening enemies or large groups. When you run out of ammo, the guns then immediately convert into melee weapons, so you can just keep fighting with no rest. But there is no reloading, so even if you find another of the same gun and you still have rounds in the one you're using, you don't get to like swap or move around. You have that one with the few shots and you have that new gun. You either expend the ammo you have and then pick up the new weapon, or just drop it for the new one. Also, something I enjoyed is not every gun is fully loaded. Often there are times where I would pick up a gun only for there to be a few rounds in it, really making it very strategic on how you use the guns. Now the atmosphere of the game is superb. It's dark, dusty, destroyed city, poorly lit, cramped hallways. The farm's cool too, but I love the urban environments. I felt like I was exploring the city in 7, which feels awesome. If you like 7, you really enjoy most of this game. The environments lent themselves to the horror and dangers of the combatants you face in them. It is a masterfully made game, genuinely. I just really didn't like the way the story ended. I had so much fun playing this. And while it's not the scariest game, it is still so tense, which is a welcoming feeling when playing these kinds of games. At no point will you ever feel overpowered or like a one-man army. This is no Leon Kennedy beats up homeless simulator. It's really great. It's so well balanced. So you can grab this on Steam for around $15 normally, and at the time of writing, it's currently on sale for $4. But in my opinion, even for $15, it's well worth it. I got about 6 hours of playtime out of this game, and in my opinion, it's in the sweet spot of a good horror game. The sweet spot is generally around 6 to 12 hours. 8 hours being like 8 and 10 is like peak. But 6 to 12 is like anything in there I find pretty acceptable. So if you're looking to play a good retro horror game, I definitely recommend this one. Anyway, that's it. That's the video. Slosh out.